So E3 is pretty fun, right? I mean, if you're like I am, you probably sit around with a couple of friends, maybe you get online with a few people, and you generally enjoy the fuck-ups. It's almost guaranteed. It's been a running tradition, I'd say, for like fucking 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer, maybe a decade or so, where at least one or two of the press conferences, maybe all of them, are going to be fucking abysmal. There's always something that goes wrong. I mean, it could be a technical issue, it could be a terrible presentation, awkward host, bad games, bad technology. It could be a myriad of things, whether it's Shiggy up on stage with a malfunctioning Wiimote, or somebody at Konami's press conference awkwardly staring at the back of somebody else's head, But generally, it's fun. You get a couple of videos out of it. If you looked on YouTube right now, you could look up E3s from, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, and you're going to see some funny shit. Generally stuff that touches on the theme of that year, or the biggest fuck-up of that year. $599, Ridge Racer, attack its weak point for massive damage, shit like that. But of course, because gaming has been fucking co-opted, that one joy that I had, that one thing I liked to do, which was watch them fail, has now been stripped away from me. Of course it has, because fuck, gaming can't just be left the hell alone. No, it's got to have people come into it who have no interest in gaming. They don't give a shit about video games. They never have cared about video games. They don't fucking play video games. They don't follow video game news. They just want to complain. They want to complain about shit until they get attention, because that's all they're after. And so what great thing have they latched onto? Well, the Microsoft presentation was up, and holy shit, did you have a plethora of shit to pick from. You could have talked about their Orwellian DRM policies. You could have talked about Microsoft agreeing to be the first company in 2007 to go along with the NSA's PRISM program. You could have talked about used game sales and ownership and a new digital distribution model. You could have talked about Force Connect sensor that's always on and always monitoring you. You could have talked about anything. Hell, they finished that press conference off saying it was going to be $499 fucking dollars. That would have been something to get pissy about. So, I mean, you have real issues. If you want to get, bitchy about something, fuck, you've got a whole buffet of shit to bitch about. But nope, none of that. They don't care about that. Again, because they're not fucking gamers. A gamer would give a shit about those issues. A gamer would be focused on that. If you go to fucking 4chanV, if you go to fucking Reddit or NeoGAF or any other goddamn website that exists, it doesn't matter what it is. That's what they're talking about. Because regardless of the fucking communities these people are a part of, they're actually gamers. They give a shit about the fucking hobby. And so what exactly am I getting at? Well, of course, an issue had to be turned up, right? Something had to come from nothing. And so what's that something? Rape culture. I'm sure if you watched that Microsoft E3 presentation, you saw it. That poor woman on stage being verbally sodomized by a game developer. Oh my god, it was a horrific sexual assault. But thank God, all these people who have co-opted my fucking hobby are here to tell everybody about it and to make an issue out of nothing. So, I mean, immediately, within seconds, I think I'm almost convinced at this point that Patricia Hernandez can't write for shit. And I know she's clickbaiting. I know that's what she does. I know that's what Gawker and Kotaku are fucking built around. I understand it. When Eric Kane talked about it on Forbes, he was right. Other people have brought it up, and they've been right. That's all these people care about is money and ad revenue and generating clicks. But even amidst E3, the fucking holy grail, right, of gaming, well, kind of, you get the point, where you've got all this stuff you could write about, you've got all these articles you could put up and get a ton of clicks on, she apparently gets upset and decides, you know what? I'm not getting enough attention. I'm upset that Steven Totillo, or whoever the fuck writes for that website, their articles are getting 8,000, 10,000, 12,000 clicks. I need to make something out of nothing. So I'm going to focus on the Microsoft presentation, and I'm going to show it to you. This is terrible video. It's downloaded from a download from a download. I'm just going to play it for you. I want you to pick out the moment that the oppressor of the patriarchal society dominates this innocent woman and uses his phallic joystick to keep her down. Right? Here we go.
Come on, you gotta practice before you get on stage in front of millions of people.
I can't even block correctly, and you're too fast.
There we go. Just let it happen, it'll be over soon.
You have a fight stick.
One more. Wow, you like those?
No, I don't like this.
Oh yeah, I mean that was it. So I mean, Patricia Hernandez, of course, being a defender of all things women, women. I'm not sure how you pronounce it with a Y on it. In fact, I'm not even sure why a Y is on that. This is for the feminists out there. Maybe you could explain this to me. You get pissed off and want to remove the masculine part of the word woman and woman. So you take the E and the A out, and you put a Y in. And you think that's pretty hot shit, right? Like, yeah, way to stick it to the fucking patriarchy, right? That's a real brilliant decision on your part. Here's the thing, though. Y is the sex-linked male chromosome. So, essentially, you've taken out the word man and men, and you put the letter Y in there, which is like, I don't know, 100 times more fucking masculine than what you took out. So your feminist replacement word, your gobbledygook, your fucking gibberish, is more masculine now than it was before. So any feminists out there want to clue me in on the brainchild of who fucking thought that genius idea up, throw that in the comments. I'd love to hear the backstory to that, because that was an intelligent woman. That was a smart feminist. I can't stand these fucking people. Anyway, so she writes this article, and as you can see, in an hour, it has 50 some odd thousand fucking views. Or clicks, or whatever. Whatever that metric is, that's the amount of traffic this article is generating. Alright, compare that to any other E3 article on Kotaku, and you immediately see that this is the same shit she always fucking pulls. This woman doesn't give two fucks about video games. It is the same shit these people pull time and time and time again. And so she made an issue out of nothing. So now if you go onto Twitter, right, if you go onto Twitter and you search the fucking words Microsoft rape, you get tweets from everybody. And you're going to notice an interesting trend among those tweets. Normal people are going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's normal shit talking during a video game. Crazy people are going to say, oh my god, that's rape culture. And I guarantee you, I will fucking put money on it. If you go and look at the comments on Twitter on the tweets that are going out, you know, with rape culture in it and Microsoft in it, you know, those two key phrases, and you go look at the Twitter profiles of the people putting that shit out there who actually believe that Patricia Hernandez is right, you're going to notice a common theme on everybody's profile that buys into this stupid shit. It's going to have phrases like sex positive and gender binary and, you know, feminism and just any buzzword related to sex or gender is going to be on their fucking profile. They're going to adhere to really crazy left-wing shit. Alright, these are the people that have co-opted my fucking hobby. So now I can't even watch an E3 in peace anymore. I can't laugh at Microsoft for making perhaps the worst console in history. And, you know, laugh at them for their Orwellian tactics and their horrible sense of business. Right? No, now I've got to deal with Patricia Hernandez and a bunch of fucking lace-booted feminists talking about crazy shit that doesn't exist. Alright, people shit talk when they play video games, saying, you know, relax and wait till it's over. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh no, that's you don't understand. You know, you go look at don't go look at the fucking Kotaku articles. I don't want this bitch getting another click. But if you were to have looked at the Kotaku articles, you'll see people defending this shit. And they're saying stuff like, oh man, that's what a rapist says. You don't understand. Those are words that rapists use. Hey, fuckwit. It's a language. Words are used in conjunctions when we randomly align them to create these things called fucking sentences. And occasionally, two different people doing two different things might use the same sentence. It doesn't mean that it's fucking linked to rape. But these people, they need this shit. They thrive off it. And so you've got this hierarchy that builds up, that's been building up after these fucking people have infiltrated and co-opted gaming, where you've got these people on top that only care about money. That's all they give a shit about. And so they create issues where there aren't any. They stir up shitstorms to get clicks, because all they care about is that bottom line. They get paid per click. That's all they fucking care about. And they know if they have an attention-getting title, they're going to draw people in. And sure enough, what happens? Now you got all these people tweeting this stupid shit. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 2 to 3 days, you're going to see articles on rock, paper, shotgun, on fucking Polygon, on Destructoid. You're gonna have people like Jim Sterling and Movie Bob and all these other fucking beta pussy-whipped assholes. I and Miles Chung from GamerRanks. The usual fucking offenders who are gonna crawl out of their hole and are gonna make these big fucking bloated diatribes about how this is terrible. And it's not even just gonna focus on that. Oh no, right? It wasn't enough to have women on stage, even though she was the victim of a apparent sexual assault. No, there weren't enough female protagonists. That was another big complaint. A bunch of snarky fucking hipster faggots in their black-rimmed glasses tweeting from their iPads. These 20-something fucking walking stereotypes from Gen X or millennials or whatever fucking generation is around now. Saying, oh, it's the next gen, man. A real next gen with no female protagonists. Shut the fuck up. Put your money where your fucking mouth is. I've been hearing this shit for years now. If you're so fucking offended by it, you fucking special snowflake, don't buy the goddamn games. Or go make your own fucking games and make your own market and then show everybody how fucking right you are. But you don't, because there isn't a market for that shit. And you still buy those games because they're fucking good. You're just looking to complain about something to try to get pussy, and fucking everybody knows it. Do you remember when you were a kid? I'm talking to somebody who's been gaming since the 80s. So, a long time ago, before all this stupid shit. Do you have memories of that time when you used to just play games and they were fun? When you'd read a video game magazine, and you know what you'd see in there? Video games. That's what was in the magazine. That made sense, right? It's a fucking video game magazine. You read reviews and import opinions and, sneak peeks and talk about new tech. And that was great. And, the games were fun and you played with your friends and it was a fucking good time. But somewhere along the line, and it's been in the last generation or two, these fucking people have latched onto this hobby and they've perverted it. They've twisted it and just turned it into this disgusting fucking thing that's got this underlying money motivation with fake social justice on top, and it's made to appeal to people who aren't interested in games. Alright, people who played games in the 80s and the 90s were fucking nerds, were fucking geeks, were the fucking outcasts. Alright, we got dumped on, we got shit on for our hobby. And then you've got all these people now who are acting like it's so hip and so fucking cool, and oh man, you guys who used to play games, you're all misogynistic and you're terrible and you need to be equality minded and you need to think about female protagonists and you're rape culture this and rape culture that. Fuck off, man. This is our hobby. We built it, we bought into it, and we built it up. What fucking choir are you singing to? You're talking to people who grew up in an era of gaming where we had people like fucking Samus Aran, where we had Lara Croft, where we had fucking Zelda and Princess Peach. You look down on us and you say, oh my god, you sexist fucking pigs. Fuck you. Alright, we played games with female protagonists and we liked them. And you know why we liked them? It wasn't because they were female, but because they were good protagonists. People don't talk about Jade from Beyond Good and Evil and, the first thing they harp on is, oh, she's got tits. People only care about Jade because she's got tits. Fuck you. Alright? We played Metroid, we played Beyond Good and Evil, we played Tomb Raider and fucking Mario and Zelda because they were good games with good characters. They were well developed, they had nice stories, they had good gameplay. They appealed to us because they were good games. That's what the hobby is fundamentally about. Good games. It's very fucking simple. But you couldn't accept that. You had to come in and create something that wasn't there. You had to make a boogeyman appear so you could bitch about something. And so you looked at our good games and you said, oh, well, those females, they aren't good enough. They appeal to you, so that must mean they're tainted somehow. Because, you're all terrible people. So, Samus and Zelda and everybody else, they're not good enough, they're not strong enough, they're not women enough for us. So we need you to erase them, get rid of them, and redesign everything from the ground up. And you've got to get rid of all the male characters that you have, because Halo can't be Halo. Right, Master Chief, that's too much testosterone, let's get rid of him and make it nothing but Cortana. Shit, while we're at it, let's get rid of Gears of War. That's too masculine, too many men in that game. All the shooters, fuck it. It's just too many. And don't even get me started on those Japanese games. Glorious Nippon. All they care about are nipples, right? Just go read Jason's article bitching about, sorceress with huge titties, because apparently that mind fucked him so much that he couldn't function for a week or two. That blew his mind. Women have breasts. Holy shit, that was a news flash for Kotaku. They ran fucking article after article trying to puzzle through what these giant mammary glands were that were on this woman's chest. They couldn't figure it out. And I mean, he eventually came to the conclusion that women with gigantic tits appeal to pedophiles. I don't know how he figured that one out, but that's the logic he took with it. If you go look at his NeoGAF posts, you'll see that that he's quite adamant. Gigantic, huge tits on older women obviously are made to to appeal to pedophiles. So brilliant, man. It's a fucking brilliant logic, Jason. I'm sick of watching somebody come in and latch onto something they weren't a part of and had no interest in, and that they only started paying attention to when it became popular. All right, these are posers. But they're worse than posers because they're posers with an agenda. See, a typical poser would, look at a group of, let's say, skaters and say, yeah, well, shit, I don't want to skate, but I like how they look and I want to hang out with them. So I'll go buy some, Vans shoes or Airwalks or whatever the fuck skaters wear. I'll go buy a board, wear the fucking clothing they wear, talk about the shit they talk about, listen to their music, maybe smoke pot. And that's, I'll call it a day. And you know what? Fuck it. People could tolerate that because they weren't coming with an agenda. But these people, man, they show up and they say, we're gamers. And then, after you're kind of like, whatever, poser. Then they suddenly say, wait a second, I'm not done yet. Get rid of all your video games because they don't appeal to me. Because everything has to appeal to me. I'm the center of the fucking universe and it has to be, catered towards me. Fuck the market and fuck demographics and, fuck business models. My opinion and my feelings are what matter. And they've just sucked the life out of this industry. And it has just done a fucking tailspin because of this shit. Because game developers and publishers and, even the journalists now, they're all trying to twist and bend to the whims of people who aren't even a part of the actual market, but are just kind of on the, the periphery. Right, on the outside and want in, but they want in because they want to push forward some agenda, this social justice bullshit. And they're fucking killing my hobby to do it. And so, here we go. It's another typical example. Again, here she comes again. Here comes Patricia Hernandez again. Here comes Kotaku again. A gaming fucking website that talks about patriarchy and has had articles talking about how the, white males are terrible and how males in general are all rapists and how gaming is disgusting and misogynistic. And who are they appealing to? Right? Kotaku. If you Google them, the first thing it says is video games. Well, I sure as shit haven't seen much about video games since you've got people like Jason and Patricia writing for you, and Tina Amini, or however you pronounce her name. You know what? Here's a fun game. Go look at a Tina article, and see how many of her articles are nothing but a YouTube video. That's what she considers journalism. She'll find some cute little video, put up half a paragraph, and that's it. I mean, shit, I went to, I'm finishing up college to get a real degree, but fuck, if I knew that that's all that journalism was putting up a YouTube video and a paragraph, I'd be a fucking journalist, because that's pretty easy money to me. I don't know what standards these people live by, but fuck it. I guess maybe they look at the Fourth Estate and they say mainstream journalism has gone to shit, so we don't have to have standards, and that's how they're modeling themselves. Bang up job, Fifth Estate. You're doing a great fucking job. Way to carry that torch and have ethics and morals and standards. Really good job. Really love the coverage of E3 you're doing. I look forward to whatever manufactured emergency you're going to create tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe you can say that Capcom is racist, and I don't know, Sony beats puppies. Let's see if you can work that in. I'm sure Steven will. I'm sure he can work that in somehow. If you can get offset with Jeff Keighley, and not praise how great the Microsoft Xbox One is, in between shoving Doritos in his fucking mouth and drinking down Mountain Dew. So yeah, that's the video. Fuck video games, right? Who needs a hobby? Fuck it, I'll read books.